In the small village of Chandrapur, nestled amidst the lush green fields of rural India, a dark and sinister secret lurked. The locals whispered in nervous hushes, their eyes filled with a mix of fear and curiosity. For it seemed that a string of murders had gripped the village, leaving young men slain in their wake. The villagers were baffled, unable to comprehend the sheer brutality of these killings. The bodies were always discovered with their throats brutally slashed, the blood staining the sacred ground. Panic spread like wildfire, as people began to lock their doors and keep a vigilant eye on their loved ones. Neetu, a woman of striking beauty and charisma, stood at the center of this storm. She was a recent arrival in the village, with an air of mystery that piqued the curiosity of the townsfolk. Her bewitching allure and magnetic presence drew men like moths to a flame. To the unsuspecting eyes, Neetu seemed like a goddess, a dream come true for any prospective husband. But as the body count rose, suspicions started to darken the once admiring glances. In reality, Neetu was on a quest, a twisted game of finding the perfect husband. A deeply disturbed soul, she believed in an ancient ritual, where she had to sacrifice the lives of 10 men to appease the gods and fulfill her desire for everlasting love. Her methods were cunning, her execution precise. Neetu would entice men with her enchanting charm, luring them into her web of deceit and seduction. Once the unsuspecting victims were under her spell, they were doomed, mere pawns in her deadly game. As more and more men fell prey to Neetu's lethal seduction, the village elders decided it was time to find a way to stop these gruesome killings. They summoned Pandit Rajan, the renowned village priest and spiritual advisor. Pandit Rajan was a man of wisdom and knowledge, well versed in the ancient rituals and practices of their religion. The villagers looked to him for guidance and protection, hoping that he would be their savior from this horrifying nightmare. With determination shining in his eyes, Pandit Rajan delved into ancient texts, searching for clues and answers to this mystery. He spent nights awake, surrounded by flickering candlelight, seeking the truth hidden within the sacred scriptures. One fateful evening, as the moon hung high in the darkened sky, Pandit Rajan stumbled upon a long-forgotten passage. It spoke of a powerful amulet, rumored to have the ability to reveal the true nature of any person who wore it. Armed with newfound hope, Pandit Rajan embarked on a perilous journey. He traveled to distant lands, seeking the fabled amulet. Finally, after months of tireless searching, he stood before a mysterious merchant who claimed to possess the coveted artifact. The merchant's eyes gleamed with both greed and curiosity. He offered Pandit Rajan the amulet, but only in exchange for a hefty sum of gold. Seeing no other choice, the determined priest emptied his life savings and handed it over. Clutching the amulet tightly, Pandit Rajan returned to Chandrapur, a glimmer of optimism in his heart. He called a gathering of the villagers, asking for their trust and cooperation in his plan to reveal Neetu's true self. The villagers were hesitant, their fear still holding them in its grip. But the desperate situation pushed them to put their faith in Pandit Rajan and his amulet. They agreed to be a part of the plan, hoping to save the lives of the remaining men. On a moonlit night, when the stars shimmered overhead, the villagers gathered around Neetu's residence. They held their breath, their pounding hearts suffocating their fears, as Pandit Rajan approached her with the amulet. Neetu, seemingly unaware of the growing suspicion around her, greeted the crowd with her customary charm and grace. But her facade faltered when she laid eyes on the amulet, her gaze fixing upon it with a mix of awe and horror. As Pandit Rajan approached her, Neetu felt a sudden surge of unease, as though the amulet held power beyond her comprehension. An internal struggle raged within her, the desire for her quest conflicting with the fear of exposure. With a calculated smile, Neetu composed herself, ready to face whatever the amulet would reveal. But as the amulet touched her skin, the villagers gasped in collective horror. The amulet glowed with an eerie radiance, revealing the grotesque truth hidden beneath Neetu's beguiling beauty. Her once alluring visage was replaced by a monstrous countenance, her eyes black pools of malevolence, her true self finally unmasked. Neetu's transformation was complete, the mask of innocence shattered. Vicious fangs protruded from her mouth, her skin mottled and ashen. The villagers recoiled, their worst nightmares realized in the form of this demonic entity. Sensing the danger, Neetu howled in rage, lunging at Pandit Rajan with unnatural speed. But the villagers were ready, armed with ancient weapons blessed by the gods themselves. They bravely fought back, determined to rid their village of this terrifying menace. The battle that ensued between good and evil was fierce. Neetu, fueled by her insatiable thirst for power and love, fought with a savage desperation. But the villagers fought with a united purpose, their hearts aflame with the desire to protect their loved ones. Blood spilled on the sacred ground, mingling with the tears of those who fought for their lives. The tide turned against Nitu, as the villagers found strength in their unity. Their blows landed true, severing the chains of darkness that bound them. The battle reached its climax as Nitu found herself cornered in the village square, surrounded by the villagers who refused to let her escape. Her once seductive voice turned into a guttural growl, as she spat vile threats and curses in her final moments of desperation. And then, with a final blow delivered by Pandit Rajan, the demon that had masqueraded as Nitu was vanquished. The villagers watched as her body crumpled to the ground, lifeless and devoid of the evil that had consumed her. The night air was heavy with relief as the villagers gathered, their hearts still pounding from the ordeal. They mourned the loss of their fallen loved ones, but rejoiced in their newfound freedom from the reign of terror that had gripped their lives. With Nitu's demise, Chandrapur slowly returned to its former tranquility. But scars remained, etched upon the hearts and minds of those who had witnessed the horrors unleashed by the once alluring woman. Pandit Rajan, hailed as a hero, was revered for his wisdom and unwavering courage. He continued to guide the villagers, reminding them of the importance of vigilance and unity. As the years passed, Chandrapur grew stronger from the wounds it had endured. The village prospered, as though the darkness that had haunted its streets had ultimately brought about a new era of resilience and togetherness. The tale of Nitu's reign of terror became a cautionary legend, whispered to children as a reminder to never be deceived by superficial beauty. The men and women of Chandrapur learned the importance of looking beyond appearances, understanding that true love and companionship could never be earned through deceit and violence. And so, Chandrapur thrived, casting aside the shadows of its past. The villagers carried the memories of their fallen friends and loved ones, honoring their sacrifice by living their lives to the fullest. The fields of Chandrapur were bathed in golden sunlight, their vibrant green hues a testament to the resilience and hope of the village. And as the generations passed, the tale of Nitu, the seductress turned demon, would forever serve as a reminder that evil could be lurking behind even the most enchanting of smiles. The END.